Hey, what's going on guys, Mixuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a NAYA WINOTA deck for standard best of one. So this deck tries to leverage cards like Winota, the Great Henge, as well as the Adventure Engine in order to play a solid mid-range slash aggro plan and close out games relatively quickly if we're playing for the Winota, or just grind our opponent to dust using the Great Henge and Basri's Lieutenant combination. So we'll get into the list. I want to take this deck part by part. So we'll start off with the first part, which is the adventure package. We have the 4 innkeepers, just a human you can proc off Winota, and a reason to be in Naya as well. It is another card advantage engine if we don't have Winota on the board or in our hand. And the Naya adventure creatures we run are Giant Killer as also another human you can proc off Winota. And it's a pretty good chop down as well. We don't always pay 3 mana for that ability because we have a lot we want to do with our mana, but if this situation presents itself and we have spare mana, that's always a useful part of the card, as well as the tap ability. We don't typically use it, but it can come up. So for the rest of the adventure creatures, Bone Crusher Giant, you guys know this card. Stomp into a 4/3 that procs Winota or draws a card off Innkeeper, super solid. And the Lovestruck Beast makes a 1/1 that doesn't proc Winota, sadly, but the Beast does, and it's also a super good blocker against any aggressive thing like mono white aggro or mono red aggro in best of one, and trades against a lot of Gruul creatures. But also, it helps us play turn 4 Great Henge. So we'll get into the Great Henge package, which is the Lovestruck Beast and the Kazandu Mammoth, basically allowing us to have a turn 4 Great Henge. So that feels really good. And the Great Henge is so important because it combos really well with Basri's Lieutenant. Basically, any creature that resolves after the Great Henge is played, if we have a Basri's Lieutenant on board, will replace itself with another Knight token. So that's a really great combination of cards to have on the field. Basri's Lieutenant also great proc off Winota. Winota helps us get this onto the battlefield, as well as the Kenrith. And Kenrith, we can make any type of colored mana with the Cobra or the Goose, right? So the Goose helps us ramp into Winota, and so does the Lotus Cobra. It can also help us ramp into Henge if we're missing double green, or a Basri's Lieutenant if we want it on 3. Basically, these are just accelerants that proc Winota as well. But yeah, the fun thing about these cards is they also create multiple colors of mana, so that Kenrith's abilities are all turned on. Have I not covered anything else? Ah yes, the Selfless Savior, just a cheap 1 mana creature to help us proc Winota. If you are not a fan of this, you can always run cards like Stonequill Serpent or more Geese. I've gone for 2 Geese and 3 Saviors. You can also add more Giant Killers, but I like these because they proc Winota. And the Goose, again, for the ramp, and the mana color fixing for Kenrith if ever we want to do that. Mana base has 0 tapped lands because we have a clean 1, 2, 3, 4 curve we are trying to hit. We can even put this on 4 because ideally that's where it goes. And if everything is going according to plan, we never actually draw Kenrith and we just hit him off Winota. But yeah, actually we'll put this back here just so it looks pretty. Yeah, so all the Naya pathways, Passage because it's a untapped land that can also serve to fix mana, 1 red because we don't have that much use for it, 3 green, we ideally want it on 1, and also white as our secondary color. So yeah guys, that's the list. Deck list will be in the description down below as always. If you're enjoying the almost daily uploads, like every 2 to 3 days, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It really motivates me to make more content. Right now we are in Diamond 1, so let's see if we could push to Mythic today. We'll get into some games. Okay, so we have turn 2 Cobra into turn 3 Lieutenant if we hit a land. And we're a little bit far off casting the Great Henge, but with a bunch of mana, this hand looks pretty good. Our opponent took a minute to choose to be on the play, so this can be a long game. Not having a 1-drop kind of sucks. We have, what, 4, 5, 6, like 7 or 8 of them in the deck. You can actually just take a look at that right now while we're waiting for our opponent. 1, Okay, never mind then. They can take their time on this scry instead. So Gruel, Innkeeper. Innkeeper's pretty good. It makes the Bone Crusher Giants better, and I'm gonna play it on one because it is not my game plan, but it can help accelerate our card draw if we hit enough lands. Ooh, okay, so I want to stomp this, but I also want to resolve Cobra. I think one thing's for sure, and it's that we put this on red. So let's start there. We don't have a Winota. I think we go for the Cobra regardless. We can have double Cobra next turn, and giving them a bit of ramp doesn't seem as bad as not playing out one of these. So yeah, opponent can stomp my Innkeeper, which even if I... Okay, so if I stomp the Caryatid, then we still wouldn't have gotten the card draw off the Love-Struck Beast. Okay, so Giant Killer, slightly punished. So how much mana does both of these make? If I play out this Cobra and I play the Passage, I get 4 mana, so I can ramp into a Basri's Lieutenant. So let's go for it. And start here. Get white, red. I could also go for a Bone Crusher Giant and a Giant Killer, but I think just playing out the Basri's Lieutenant is solid. We can, this doesn't matter anymore because I'm going to play this. And we'll suit up the Cobra so we can get an attack in. So yeah, what I was going to say is if they're just playing out a Love-Struck Beast or Bone Crusher Giant next turn, then we have Giant Killer Chop Down. And if we hit, well, I mean, hitting Winota doesn't do anything, but land Winota does, so that's pretty good, right? So if we had a land here, we're super set, but I think we can still take it slower and just Giant Killer this Love-Struck Beast and push through. I'll take this trade right now. Probably better for the opponent, but as long as I'm pushing and damage, we're probably okay. Another Love-Struck Beast. Okay, so how am I playing this? I think I can resolve the Henge. Hold on, let me just... So this goes to 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is 6 mana, so I can play out the Henge here. Or I can resolve Winota. Opponent's on 3 mana, so maybe stomping their Caryatid is important. So okay, I can stomp their Caryatid and play the other side of Bone Crusher Giant. I don't think that's bad, so we'll start there. Just stomp it away. If they're on 2 lands, then we can also play out this Giant Killer, or we can play out Winota, honestly. So let's grab double green. We'll take white. So is it just Bone Crusher Giant and Giant Killer? I think so. And hold our power cards. No attacks. Could have thrown away a Lieutenant to get another creature for Winota. Alright, does the opponent want to attack? No, they do not. So I think we just play out the Winota here. And say, you get 1 block, and I get 2 procs. So this will go on... I guess my Bone Crusher Giant. And okay, we get another Basri's Lieutenant to replace that Lieutenant. Nice. Yep. And opponent's just dead. So 2 procs and we get there. So the opponent was a bit screwed on mana, but hey, we played a, this is what I mean, where you can play kind of a mid-rangey game, drop Winota and just kill your opponent a lot of the time. And even if we didn't have the Winota, we have the Henge to start going nuts with drawing cards, so great game. Okay, on the play, I think this is fine. Let's start out with tapped Kazandu Mammoth, so we can go turn 2 Innkeeper plus Giant Killer. And against Demir, so rogues or control. Let's make sure we get our white source. Green. And white. You always got to be careful when you're playing the pathways. Okay, Cobra. That's interesting. Board presence established. Okay, Crawling Barons. So it looks like removal. Now the question is, do I just slam my Bone Crusher Giant and try to get a card off the Innkeeper? I think I do. Trying to play around Heartless Act. Or Eliminate or any of that sort of thing. Jwari's Disruption. Okay. Fair enough. But we do get the card draw. So, I mean, I'll take it. Opponent continuing to advance their mana. And there was an Eliminate. Okay. So, not a bad sequencing, if I do say so myself. So now we can go for the Cobra into the Lieutenant. But they might have an Extinction event. So I think I play it a little bit slower than that. And I just put this on green and play the Lieutenant. Yeah, I realize I can go this, go here, crack the passage, and then play the Lieutenant. But then if they go Extinction event named even, we just are set back an entire turn. Whereas here, Extinction event doesn't look great. And they have to respect both of these creatures now because of their size. No way to get 6 mana right now. We can get to 5, but we can't grow anything. Let's just attack. Start there. So I can play this out. And then play the Kazandu Mammoth. I can actually empty my whole hand minus the hedge. But I think we do just go for the Mammoth. Again, just trying to make Extinction event as awkward as we can for the opponent. Didn't say please, just countered. Okay. There goes one of our Winotas. Okay, so to play this or to not play this, they counter that, meaning, I mean, if they name even, it's just so good, right? I'm not going to play with the Cobra. I think I can get more mana off it anyways if I crack the passage. Tome, perfect, perfect, perfect. Lovestroke Beast. Okay. So let's just see how much mana I would have. If I play the Cobra, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's just attack first. I can go Cobra into 1/1 plus 3/3, and that leaves a good spread of odd and even creatures. So I think I like it. Let's see if anything happens to this Cobra. Very good. We'll crack the passage now instead of just playing the 1/1 side, because if this gets killed, I want to have the option of just playing the beast side. All right, so we'll grab another green. Go for the 1/1. Opponent does have 3 blue open. They might just have a another didn't say please. Negate. All right, so punished for going for the beast. Okay, we'll hold up chop down. Opponent might be on CGB's blue-black control deck. And they might have sharks. Like, I mean, it could be Shark Typhoons, but I mean Voracious Great Shark. Cling for life. Okay, that's a good sign. They were dead on board. So, well, not exactly dead on board because they can chump block with the Barons. Second tome. Land here means Great Henge is online. Not a land, but still not bad. Let's go to combat. See what hits what. Opponent goes to 2. Okay. Let's see if we can get them to cough up another negate. Okay. This is kind of ridiculous. I'm still not playing this out. If they just have Extinction Event, then this is still lethal. And I think them having a Shark is more probable. Yeah, so, okay. Lots of scrying. I also like the possibility of going Innkeeper into Giant Killer. Man, the opponent scries the crap out of their tomes. To the top. Okay, what do you keep? I mean, even if you go for Extinction Event, you're dead. Yep. Good game. Good game. Bonk. And that's it. Taken out Dimir Control. Kind of a weird game, having to play this super slowly. Not ever resolving the Henge or Winota. We just seem like a clunky Naya aggro deck, but hey, we managed to get the job done. Okay, against Yorion. I mean, we have Innkeeper and Lovestruck Beast. So, I mean, how bad can it really be? But for a Naya Winota deck, not finding Winota has been a actual issue. And I've been playing too much Magic today. I should have just gone for the Lovestruck Beast 1/1. We're about to get punished. They're going to remove this Innkeeper. And I'm going to look like a fucking doorknob. Ooh, Winota. Hello. So yes, guys, it was all planned. The Innkeeper was played to draw the attention of the Lotus Cobra, so we can go for a turn 3 Winota, get a free proc. It's all just very big brain. Trust me. Because if we had played the 1/1 and they have a Skyclave Apparition here, they definitely take the Lotus Cobra. Whereas here, it's an actual decision. Yes. Rely on top deck Winota. So we can go like triple Cobra here, but come on, what are we really doing? Let's not kid ourselves. We know what we're here for. Turn 3 Winota. Easy proc. And we miss! We miss! Oh my god. Hey, at least we got a 1/1 that procs at Winota too, so. Doom Foretold. Just targeted removal. It all hurts, guys. It's all just painful. We miss. We bloody miss. Okay. So Lotus Cobra. 2. 1, 2, excuse me, 3. So let's go here. Grab some green. Play this. Crack the... Hold on, I'm just doing some quick mana math. If I play this out, crack this passage, I'll have access to 3 mana. Meaning I would miss out on the 1/1 side of Lovestruck Beast. But if I crack this, I'm missing out on a... Nah, I think it's fine. Why am I overthinking everything today, guys? Trying to play around everything. I played too much Magic in the past week. Yes, more green. Give me green. And everything's even, but the tokens. Get in there, little spirit. Man, if we hit a Basri's Lieutenant off that, or a Kenrith, we'd be laughing. Scar to the bottom. Okay, opponent's looking for an extinction event. Scar to the bottom. Feels good. Maybe they're just looking for blue mana. They could just be Esper Doom without hitting blue. Crawling Barons. If they're Esper Doom with Crawling Barons, they're one greedy boy. Alright, so that's bad. Because we can't attack past it with these. Nice. Okay, well. Care to trade? If they trade and they give me an even token and hit a sweeper, they're in an amazing spot. And they take 2. Alright. Not playing out Cobra. We already have an overextended board regarding an extinction event, and the opponent's scrying for it, so, you know. We try to minimize the damage that would cause. Solemn. Okay. Let's go. We really need a Winota off the top. Ooh, we find it. So punch for not playing this last turn, but this is the play. And we are throwing away this 1/1 so fast. You have no idea. 2 procs. Let's go. Easy, Lieutenant. Make this bigger so it trades with something. Kenny. Okay, so Kenny's odd and everything else is even, so I think it has to be Kenny. Let's go. And now they get a draw. They can trade with the Apparition, hit me for even. I still have a Kenrith. And a Lotus Cobra that can make any colored mana, so we can start drawing cards with Kenrith. Yes. Very good. Hold land so I can make any color mana I want with this Lotus Cobra. Or the Kenrith. And the opponent's Scry is getting close to that life boost. What do you have? Scry to the bottom. Okay. Last Scry. Man, the opponent is desperately looking for a sweeper. They've had 4 Scries, plus like 2 or 3 draw steps. This is about to be like their 3rd or 4th to hit it. They've seen a lot of cards. Is that it? Do you scoop to the power of Winota and your own spirit token? Just blow up the Winota. I mean, I respect it. Gonna blow up the lieutenants as well. You're on 1 black. Yeah, we need a Heartless Act. Exile. Okay. So everything's human, so even if we reanimate Winota, it doesn't... Okay, is this lethal? Let's do some math. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus a plus on counter. They would need some form of interaction, which I don't know if they have. So let's put this on red. And then make red for the Kenrith. Play out the lieutenant. Lieutenant will suit up, I guess, the token. Kenrith will haste and trample all up. And trample up our dudes. And do you have something? Gain 3 life? Oh. Oh my god, did I not account for the 3 life gained? Guys, I did. My math comes out. Okay, so sloppy game. I apologize. Sloppy game, but we get there. I've been playing way too much Magic this week. I'm just gonna stop. Okay, so we have a Gruul Adventures hand. I mean, we keep it, right? Against mono red on the draw. Very good. And Winota. Okay, so we actually do have a mix of a hand. So I mean, all these are fine, right? I think we'll start here. Just play out the 1/1 from the Love Struck Beast. Look a lot like Gruul for turn 1. So, yeah, we want this to make white, and we want this to make red. Alright, just sorting out my lands. So yeah, we definitely want this on red, and just pass. Hold open, stomp. Alright, so that resolves. Alright, Robber. Would have stomped as they got into combat, like right here kind of, like before attackers. If they hadn't played that, because they have enough creatures to cleave me. So we just throw this off, don't let them steal with the Robber. And we're looking like Gruul right now, but we have a something spicy up our sleeve. Opponent shocks their own Robber. Okay. Take that trade. The less creatures they have, the further they are from Ember cleaving me. And I am happy to just play a 5/5. I don't need the draw, I just need to brick wall them for a minute. Torbrand. Well, I mean, they're still brick walled, so you can attack and push through damage. I don't think it's the correct play. So I can slam Winota. I don't think that's ideal. I can go Innkeeper plus Bone Crusher Giant, or I can just go Innkeeper Stomp, which might be the play. It takes them off a creature, so I kind of like it. Play out Innkeeper, and I'll play this on white. So more bodies. I think the Stomp is more important because we can draw the card next turn. Okay. So let's take out the Hellhound before it grows. It's bigger than the Fervent Champion for the time being, and the... Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, so yeah, this will become a 2... Hold on, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we can block here. Yeah, we can block that. What am I talking about? That'll hit me for 4 damage. Sorry, guys. Mono red. I'm not gonna lie. I almost came close to having that exact same mentality. But yeah, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 4. And this might come as a surprise to some of you, but 5 is greater than 4. Alright guys, and we are back. So today was honestly some of the weirdest NAYA WINOTA gameplay I've had in a long time. I've been playing this deck on the side for about a month and a half now, maybe a bit less than that, but yeah, I had some wonky draws today. Like, this deck normally performs a lot more consistently. I get turn 4 Winota, or turn 3 Winota for that matter, a lot more frequently than you guys saw in the video. Also, the Great Henge was really weird. Like, we drew very little Love Struck Beast, but a lot of Kazandu Mammoth, and I cut some of the games where we just got mana screwed or board wiped on turn 4 when there was no actual way to play around it with a super slow hand. But yeah, also being on the draw like 8 out of 10 games I played was not ideal. We ended up climbing. I think we're like halfway to Mythic right now, but I'll probably go back to just playing my classic Dimir control to get there. But honestly, I did a fair bit of climbing with this deck. It is really solid. You can swap out the Geese for another Savior and another Giant Killer if you want. You can cut the Kenrith for any sort of big human, or if you just want to smooth out the 1-drops a bit more, by all means. If you prefer an extra copy of the Great Henge, go for it. The key cards of the deck, the Adventure Package, the Lotus Cobra, Kazandu Mammoth, Bastry's Lieutenant Winota is fairly standard. I guess the Giant Killers too, but I feel like those are more flexible. But yeah, it's really up to you with what you do with the flex spots in the deck. Just make sure they fit the package. Mana base, if you're having a lot of trouble, you can add a couple temples, but I don't recommend it. As you guys saw, we always want to be curving out pretty consistently. So yeah, everybody, that's the list. Once again, it will be in the description down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.